Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to the balcony. And I was listening to a conversation on the radio, and they were talking about a 4-day work week. And doesn't that sound nice? I remember thinking about in school, if I was running the show, we would go to school Monday, Tuesday, then we'd all have Wednesday off, then go Thursday, Friday, and then you have the weekends, obviously. So a 4-day work week with the middle of the week, so you were always just 2 days from a day off at the worst. So I thought that was kind of cool. The people on the radio in the discussion, they were saying that they valued a longer weekend, so they were doing the 3-day weekends. They were taking Fridays off and just working 4 days. And their idea is that they could work hard for those 4 days and not just waste time and still get their work done that they were taking 5 days to do. So that's kind of an interesting concept. Now, of course, it doesn't pertain to everybody, and there's always jobs, of course, that need 24-hour, nurse, doctor, fireman, police, all those things. Yes, and we still love the police here. They're doing an impossible job. For that, you just have 4 6-hour shifts, instead of 3 8-hour shifts. So you actually end up hiring more people, but it all works out about the same is what they were saying. But now it's funny, I never really worked an hourly job for long. When I was young, when I was a youngster back 100 years ago, I always was kind of like sort of self-employed. I mowed grass, and I had a little lawn care business. And I started with 2 mowers in my trunk of my car, and then eventually I got a little tiny trailer, and built it up and did that for years and really enjoyed it. And I'll tell you what, I wish in many ways I never quit it, because I could go get a dozen donuts at Dunkin' Donuts and a gallon of milk, and I could eat whatever I wanted. I was at Burger King all the time, eating Whoppers and onion rings, and never gained any weight, felt great. But then eventually I got a desk job. But during that time, my mom had this thing in her head. She worked at Sears, and she thought I needed to work at Sears. She had this thing, she always thought you had to have it for your record, And it's funny because my first, like I'd say, real job in brokering, my manager, Don, he was asking me about my work experience. I told him about Sears, and he didn't care about that, but he was mighty interested in being a self-starter and running your own business, the entrepreneurial spirit, because as a broker, we could work as little or as much as we wanted to. And the pay was basically up to how many hours and how you worked it and stuff like that. So we were totally on our own as far as, whether we came in. You set your own hours, you set your own pay. Basically, there was no salary involved. It was whatever you made, and if you didn't make any, you didn't make any. So it was all on you. So that's basically what I've been accustomed to, so I get it, people doing that hourly grind, that is hard. And thankfully, I haven't had to do that very much. I worked a year or two at Sears in the garage in the battery department, because my mom thought it would look good on my record. But even now, it just kind of, I tell people I work like 18 hours a day, and I tell you, I don't make much more than the guy in the sweatshop in China, unfortunately, if you divide it out by all the time. But also, I could say I don't work a day, because like that old saying, if you do what you like, they say you'll never work a day in your life. And I do love doing what I do. I love making these videos. I love trading my stocks. I love just having little hobbies that pay a little, like my latest adventure into mining crypto. And I'm very thankful for my vlogging and blogging over on Hive. I mean, that really helps pay the bills. It's like a million things that all come together, and I'm just thankful for being able to do those things and make a little bit of money. And I don't need a lot of things, I don't spend a lot of money. And fortunately, that just comes naturally. For me, that's just how I was wired. I always was a saver, and Thrifty's my middle name, so you know how I am. But what do you think? Do you think a 4-day work week is going to be in the future? I know a lot of people are saying. I was just listening to Elon Musk. He was on Lex Friedman, who's he has a great podcast here on YouTube, Lex Friedman. And Elon was just on there yesterday, I think it was. It came out, and I was watching it. Anyway, Elon is one that thinks that in the future, not saying anytime soon, but in the future, people will only work if they want to work. There's going to be like a universal basic income at some point, and people are going to have a lot of free time as automation and machines and computers and such fill in even more and more for us. So it's an interesting concept. Do you think that is going to come into play? And I'll have to do a separate video on that sometime. So let me know what you think. Are you interested in a 4-day work week? Do you own a business that you think there's no way we could ever go to that, or it would be cost prohibitive, or maybe you've already tried it? I'm always interested to hear the interaction. And I want to say thanks for stopping by and spending a few minutes with the old guy, hearing me ramble. And then until next time, we'll see you.